कि बजायो जयो गोरा चंदे आरती की शोभा जानवी तातावाने जग मन लोभा जानवी तातावाने दानवी तातावाने जग मन लोभा जानवीता कि बदखी निताय चाम बमे गदाधारा निकाते अद्वैताशिनी वसा छत्रधारा निकाते अद्वैताशिनी कि बबोसी अच्छे गौरा चा रत्न सिंहासने आरती करे ना ब्रह्मा आदि देवगाने आरती करे कि बनर हरियादि कोरी चमर धुलाया संजाया मुकुंदा बासु घोष आदि गाया संजाया मुकुंदा बासु घोष आदि गाया शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे 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 करताला शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताला माधुरा मृदंगा बाजे परम रसाला शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे माधुर माधुर शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे माधुर माधुर गौरांगे आरती की शोभा जग जन मन लोभा जग जन मन लोभा कि बहु कोटि चंदा जीनी वदन उजाला गाला देसे बाना माला कोरे जल माला गाला देसे बाना माला कोरे जल माला कि शिवा सुख नारदा प्रेमे गदा गदा भक्ति विनोदा देखे गौरार संपादा भक्ति विनोदा देखे गौरार संपादा कि बजयो जय गौरा चंदे आरती की शोभा जानवी तातावाने जग मन लोभा जानवी तातावाने जग मन लोभा नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने ना नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Shri Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshan Chakra. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshan Chakra. Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Please bow down for the prayers.
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर सेवा साथी गौर भक्त बिंद की, राधा कृष्ण को गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की, बिंदान मथुरा धाम की, मायापुर नवदी धाम की, गंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, भक्तिदेव तुलसी महारानी की, अनंत कुटी वैष्णव बिंद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। जय निश्चिमदेव आविर्भाव तिथि महाउत्सव की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to simple devotees, all glories to simple devotees, all glories to simple devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. प्रहलादला ददायिने प्रहलादला ददायिने हिरण्यकशिपुर्वक्षः हिरण्यकशिपुर्वक्षः शिलटन्कानकालये शिलटन्कानकालये इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह जतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह जतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह बोहे नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह बहिर्नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंह सिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तब करकमलबरेणकम् अद्भुतसिंहा दलितालिरनकशिपो तनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे अद्भुत सिंहा केशवधृता नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय केशवधृता नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरहरि जय नरहरि नरहरि जय नरहरि जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल। जय भक्त नरसिंह भगवान की जय, भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। Maharaj will be sit there. You can set up this one.
Hare Krishna.
Happy Narasimha Chaturdashi. So Maharaj is here. We'll have a class, and right after the Arati, the Abhishekam will start. Um, if you form the Abhishekam line, form outside that fence, the fencing which we have. Don't form inside here. And all the senior citizens. No, sit now. It's not started yet. We'll announce it. At least another 10 minutes. So form the line along the Ramayana exhibits there, not now, and senior citizens first, and anybody who needs help first, and then others. Hare Krishna.
Do we start now or no? They're going to do something, right? We start now. Nishingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Bolo, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanande, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So today is a very special day, the appearance day of Lord Nrsingadev. That means that all the demons are going to run away. They're scared, very scared of Lord Nrsingadev because he's got very big nails, and that's the way he killed Hiranyakashipu, with big, long nails. So, worse than a bear. Let's put it like that. Worse than a bear. So, I want you to repeat after me the following two mantras. Konteya Pratijanihi Name Bhakta Pranasyati Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshishyami Ma Sucha. These two mantras say basically the same thing, and that is Konteya Pratijanihi Nami Bhakta Pranasati. Declare it boldly, Arjuna, that my devotee never perishes. This is Krishna's promise that he's going to protect his devotee. So, if you want to be protected, you should become Krishna's devotee. And that's not difficult. All you have to do is chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This Mahamantra is what you call the Yuga Dharma. This is the recommended way in this age of Kali Yuga how you can become liberated from the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, it's called Yuga Dharma Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai. And Aham Tvam Sarvapapebhyo Mokshisyami Ma Sucha. This says, I, you, all types of sins can be free from, Therefore, you have nothing to worry about. So you can be free from all types of sinful activity simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now, there are a lot of sinful activities today that are masquerading as good things to do, such as eating meat, gambling, illicit sex, and all kinds of other basically horrible things that are considered to be good. This is a symptom of Kali Yuga. What is actually very bad is considered to be good, and what is actually good is considered to be bad. So we have to come to the temple and hear about Krishna and his transcendental pastimes to get rid of the bad things and to glorify the good things about spiritual life. Many people now are not so interested in spiritual life. They're interested in making money. They're interested in having sense gratification. But they're not so interested in spiritual life. Why is that? By the way, Washington is the most atheistic state in the United States. We're living in the most atheistic state. That means very few people, or in other words, fewer people in Washington state than any other state are interested in spiritual life. Now, this is because of bad education, and also because people are lazy, and they actually think two things. One, when you die, there's nothing. And two, that you can attain happiness by sense gratification. So these two things are false. You can never attain real happiness by sense gratification. And when you die, everything is not over. You have an eternal soul, so you're not going to die and there's nothing. Many times I've spoken to atheists, and oftentimes they say, my only prayer is that when I die, there won't be anything. And I always ask them, who are you praying to? You know. So you see how hopeless their prayer, their so-called prayer is. And the fact is that when you die, you don't really die. Only your body is destroyed, but you have an eternal soul. So today we're going to hear about Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu, his father. Here we have a boy who's only 5 years old, and his father, Hiranyakashipu, is trying to kill him. And his father is perplexed. How did my 5-year-old boy become a devotee of Krishna? Very good question. Actually, at one point, Prahlad's mother, while Prahlad was still in the womb of his mother, the demigods captured his mother and they were going to kill her because she had Prahlad, who was the son of Hiranyakashipu, in her womb. And they were already having a lot of trouble with Hiranyakashipu, so they didn't want another Hiranyakashipu to be born. But Narada Muni came and told the Devas, you give me Hiranyakashipu's wife, and the baby that she's carrying, the son that she's carrying in her womb, is actually a devotee. So they let Narada Muni take her, and he took her to his ashram, and every day he would chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the baby in her womb, Prahlad, was always hearing. And he would preach to Hiranyakashipu's wife about Krishna consciousness, and again, the baby in the womb was listening. There is what you call prenatal consciousness, especially from the 7th month of the baby's life in the womb. And the baby is in the womb of a mother usually 10 months. Everyone says 9 months. It's actually, it's 10 months. So Prahlad became Krishna conscious by hearing the lectures of Narada Muni and the chanting of Narada Muni to his mother while he was in the womb of his mother. So, ladies, there's two things you should know. When you get pregnant, you should only eat prasadam, so that your baby's body is made of prasadam. And number two, you should always chant Hare Krishna, so your baby will be educated already in the womb. Chant Hare Krishna and hear lectures given by bona fide devotees. That way, when the baby is born, he or she is already Krishna conscious. This is the science of how to have a baby. You don't want to listen to rock and roll music and smoke cigarettes and marijuana and things like that. That would be a big mistake, and that would be ruinous for the baby. But it's very highly suggested to chant Hare Krishna, hear lectures by genuine devotees, eat only prasadam, then the body of your baby is made of prasadam, and the mind of your baby is trained to be Krishna conscious. That means that you're going to have an easy time with your baby. He's naturally going to be born a devotee. And if you continue to teach him or her, to be Krishna conscious, then they will not be contaminated by all the nonsense in the world. So this is called Krishna conscious rearing of children. How to have children, how to train children, how to grow children, and so forth. So traditionally, there was what was called the Garbhodhan Samskar. Before conception of a child, the husband and wife would chant 50 rounds of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You have your mantra beads. There's 108 beads. And the husband and wife would chant 50 rounds of 108 beads. How much is that? 100 rounds of 108 beads is what? That would be, go ahead. How much is that? 100 times, well, huh? Okay, so half of that is how much? Okay, that's how many times you should chant the Hare Krishna mantra if you want to have a baby. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So how many did you say, Prabhu? How many? 5,400 times you should chant the mantra before you want to conceive the child. Why is that? Because the quality of the child is going to be determined by the consciousness of the woman and the husband. So if the consciousness of the husband and woman are both in the mode of rajasic and tamasic mode, then the child that's going to be placed in the womb of the mother will be rajasic and tamasic. Krishna will listen carefully to the consciousness and see carefully the consciousness of the mother and father at the moment of conception. And if they're in the mode of ignorance and lust, then the baby will be born with those qualities. However, if they're in the mode of goodness and they're chanting Hare Krishna regularly and also at the moment of conception, then Krishna will give you a devotee. And this will save you a lot of headache, because your child will be born naturally a devotee, already educated in Krishna consciousness. That's why Prahlad Maharaj, his father was confused. He said, Prahlad, how did you learn to be a devotee? Because his father was a demon, and he got some demon teachers to try to teach Prahlad to also become a demon like him, but Prahlad wasn't interested because he was naturally a devotee, because he was educated already in the womb of his mother. His mother was saved from the Devatas that were going to kill her when she was pregnant. And he took her to his ashram, and there every day he chanted Hare Krishna, and he gave her prasadam, and he preached to her also about who Krishna is and how to please Krishna. And Prahlad was in the womb of the mother hearing all these things, and his body was made of prasadam because that's all she ate at the ashram of Narada Muni. So therefore, when he was born, although his father was a demon, he became a pure devotee. And his father was confused. He couldn't understand, how did this boy become such a devotee? Right. And he asked Prahlad, he said, how did you learn all this? And Prahlad said, well, I learned it from saintly people like Narada Muni. And his father got really angry when he heard that, and he tried to kill his son. So he tried to kill him in many ways. He threw him into a fire, and the boy didn't die. Even his clothes were not even singed by the fire. He threw him in the ocean. He didn't drown. And he tried in many ways to kill his son. He couldn't do it. So then he got so frustrated, he thought, well, my son must be some type of mystical yogi. Maybe I'll kill his god. So he said to Prahlad, where is your God? Where is this Krishna? He didn't say the name of Krishna. He said, where is your God? And Prahlad said, he's everywhere. He said, it's everywhere? So is he in this pillar? They were standing next to a pillar. And Prahlad said, yes. So Hiranyakashipu took out his sword and broke the pillar with his sword, and out came, guess who? Nrsimhadev Bhagawan, Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Now, he came in this very strange and very unique form, half lion, half man, because the demon, Hiranyakashipu, had received a benediction that he could not be killed in the sky, on the land. He could not be killed by any demon or any, he could not be killed by any weapon, and so forth. He received all these benedictions, and he thought, well, I'm immortal now. Nobody's going to be able to kill me. So therefore, when Nrsimhadev appeared, he was not an animal, and he was not exactly a human being. He was this unbelievable living entity, half lion, half man, right? And then he grabbed Hiranyakashipu and put him on his lap. So now Hiranyakashipu was not in the air, not on the ground, right? And he did not use a weapon. He used his nails to rip apart his gut, pull out his intestines. And in this way, he didn't violate any of the benedictions that Hiranyakashipu had. So Hiranyakashipu could not even imagine a being such as Nrsimhadev. So after he killed Hiranyakashipu and saved Prahlad Maharaj, then Prahlad Maharaj came and put a garland on his neck, and then Nrsimhadev's anger went away and he calmed down. Everyone was afraid because he got so angry and he was roaring like a lion. The whole world was shaking. But Prahlad came, he wasn't afraid of him. he came and put a garland on his neck, and the Nrsimhadev calmed down. And he said to Prahlad, he said, my dear boy, he said, I'm very satisfied by your Krishna consciousness. You've suffered a lot, but now you're always going to be protected by me. And ask for any benediction that you want. And Prahlad said, my dear Lord, please don't try and entice me to ask for some benediction. He said, but Nrsimhadev said, no, you have to ask me for something. He said, okay, if you insist, please bring my father back to life and save him. That's the heart of a devotee. So, hearing about Bhakta Prahlad and Nrsimhadev is very important. And Hiranyakashipu, it's very important because it shows who God actually is. He's not a mean person. God is full of nectar and forgiveness and friendliness and love. See, sometimes when you hear stories from the Bible, especially the Old Testament, you think, oh, this God is a nasty guy. Yeah, I don't know if any of you read the Bible, but if you read it, you get an opinion that God is not really a nice person. He's very mean, you know. But here we're hearing the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam explaining all about Nrsimhadev, and you suddenly realize God appearing as a Nrsimhadev is actually very merciful. Although he killed Hiranyakashipu, then he asked Prahlad, asked for any benediction. Prahlad said, I don't want any benediction, but if you insist, please bring my father back and save him. So this is real spiritual life, where there's no rancor, there's no jealousy, there's no anger, there's just pure love. And there's no kicking people down. Everything is kicking people up, so they make spiritual progress. Even the demons. When a demon is killed by Krishna, he goes back to Godhead. So it's a good thing. Just like Marachi. When Ravana told Marachi, you change your body into a deer, a golden deer, and you trick, what's her name? No, he tricked, his wife, Sita Devi, and then Rama will go after the cow. She'll ask him to catch that the deer, and then I'll kidnap her. So Maharaji was in a quandrum. He wasn't sure what to do, because if he refused to do it, Ravana would kill him, and if he didn't refuse to do it, Rama would kill him. Then he thought, he said, wait a minute, if the demon Ravana kills me, I'll go to hell. But if Rama kills me, I'll go back to Godhead. So I choose to die at the hands of Rama. See, he was smart. So, so he did go and he did trick Sita Devi and so forth, and Rama killed him and he went back to Godhead. So you see, even Maharaji, he could understand the blessing one gets by being killed by the Lord. So, whether you become a pure devotee of the Lord or you become an enemy of the Lord, if he kills you, both go to Godhead. That means that the Lord is all good, all full of compassion and mercy. So whether you're killed by the Lord and you're a demon, you'll go back to Godhead, or you, by accident, you're killed by the Lord, you're a good devotee, you go back to Godhead. So we should hear these things and understand that Krishna is not a bad person. He's full of mercy. Whether it's a demon or a devotee, he always liberates anyone that comes in contact with him. So, how do you come in contact with Krishna? You chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now let me explain to you what this mantra means. Hare is referring to Srimati Radharani, who is the eternal consort of Krishna. You see her up here on the altar. Krishna and Radharani are together. And she is the epitome of mercy and love. And then Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the reservoir of all beauty and love. And Rama is another name of Krishna. He could also refer to Lord Rama, full of mercy. So, by chanting the names of God, or Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, you're associating with Radharani, Krishna, Sita, and Rama. That's good company. You want to have good company? Chant Hare Krishna. And you will be very happy you did it, because at the moment of death, instead of seeing Yamaraj, you will see Krishna. And you'll go back to the spiritual world. Now, the worst thing for an atheist is that after they die, they still are living because they have an eternal soul. See, the prayers of the atheists are, when I die, please, there should not be anything. And they pray like that. And one time I was talking to this lady, she was a PhD, and we were talking a little bit, and I started trying to preach to her a little bit, and she said, look, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God. And my only prayer is that when I die, there's nothing. So I said to her, listen, that's not a fact. When you die, you'll still be a living entity because you have an eternal soul. She says, oh, don't tell me all that. I don't want to believe it. Yeah, because she was afraid that after you die, there's still life. She'll still be conscious. And even though her body is destroyed, her soul is still there. And she told me, I don't believe in a soul, and I don't believe that there's life after death. And I told her, no, it's completely wrong. So you see, don't you get fooled also. Don't think that when you die, everything is over. That's not true. You have an eternal soul, it can never die. Now, when you do come to the moment of death, you will see either Yamaraj or Krishna. If you see Yamaraj, that's because you committed a lot of sins while you were living. Eating meat, gambling, illicit sex, intoxication, cheating, lying, and so many things. Gossiping. Ladies, remember this now. Never forget this. Gossiping is very bad. Very, very bad thing. Don't do it. You'll get really bad karma if you do it. Only say good things. Only think good things. In the age of previous age of time, you have Satya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and then now we have Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, there's a lot of, although it's the worst time to live, there are a lot of good things or dispensations to help people go back to Godhead easily. One of them is that when you chant Hare Krishna, just by chanting Hare Krishna, it guarantees several things. First guarantee, your next birth will be a human being. Now, that's important because if we live a life that's not Krishna conscious, then we're going to go to Narak, or we're going to suffer because of our sins. But if you chant Hare Krishna, you're guaranteed a human birth. If you're not chanting Hare Krishna, then you'll get an animal birth, or even less than an animal, like a cockroach or who knows what. There's 8,400,000 species. So you want to at least chant Hare Krishna once in your life. Let's put it like that, at least once. But if you chant all the time, then you're going to get tremendous benediction, because Krishna is in your heart. He knows what you're thinking, what you're desiring, and if he sees that you're always chanting his name, then he takes care of you. He takes care of you, or he takes over for you. He protects you, he gives you knowledge, and he helps you so that at the moment of death you remember him and you go back to Godhead. So there's a real self-interest. If you really love yourself, you should become Krishna conscious. And then share your Krishna consciousness with others, like your family members. Like, for example, my brothers, they were complete atheists. So when I became Krishna conscious, they were upset with me. They didn't like it. And I had one uncle, boy, he came to me, he said, "You are a traitor to your family, to your community," and so forth. You know, he was like really upset. And I said, "Well, I'm sorry." He said, "Now you sit down with me and eat." So I knew he was going to do that. So I sat down with him, but I had brought my prasadam with me. Right? He said, "What is that?" I said, "Well, it's holy food." He said, "Get rid of that. You know, you have to eat my meat." I said, "No, I'm not going to eat your meat." He got really upset. So unfortunately, there are people like that. You know, they can be relatives, or they can be people on the street. You know, they're angry that you're Krishna conscious. Never be intimidated, because Krishna is guaranteeing you, as he says here, "Konteya pratijanihi, name bhakta pranasati." Declare it loudly, O Kunti Devi, that my devotee never perishes. And he also says, "Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma suchaha." I will liberate you from all sinful activities. Ma sucha, don't be afraid. So, ma sucha means more than that. He said, don't be afraid, don't hesitate, don't be intimidated. So, that was the position of Prahlad Maharaj. He was not intimidated, he was not afraid, and he was always thinking of the Lord and chanting the names of the Lord. Although he was only 5 years old, but he learned that while he was in the womb of his mother. So ladies, there is something called prenatal consciousness. So you can educate your child while it's still in your womb. If you're always eating only prasadam, then the body of the baby is made of prasadam, and you're always hearing lectures and kirtans, then the baby in the womb becomes a natural devotee. And that's what you want. They will not grow up to be hippies or drug addicts or thieves, or no. They'll be naturally devotees right from birth, and it'll go right through their whole lifetime. So if you really want to have good children, you should follow this advice. Don't engage in any illicit activities, especially at the moment of conception, when husband and wife are trying to have a baby. The child consciousness will be determined by the consciousness of the parents at the moment of conception. So if the parents try and conceive a child and they're both in the mode of ignorance or passion, that's the type of child you're going to have. And you're going to regret it, because that child will give you trouble your whole lifetime. There was this one auntie I had. She could not have a baby, so she got an orphan, and adopted an orphan. And she didn't know who the parents of the orphan was. So when it was still a baby, it was all right. But as soon as he got a little bit older, she noticed that he was like, almost like a demon, always doing bad things. And eventually, he drove his mother and father so crazy that they prematurely died, both of them. Yeah, because he was always doing bad things, and that's because he was born in the womb of a woman who was doing bad things, and he learned all that while he was in the womb of his mother, and he developed, even worse as he got older. Eventually, both the mother and father died, and the boy was a little bit more than a teenager, and he inherited the money. So he had about $300,000, and in about a month and a half, 2 months, it was gone, because he was using it for, drinking and doing all kinds of nonsense things. And the last thing he did was he bought a racehorse and named the racehorse after his mother. But unfortunately, the racehorse broke its leg and they had to kill him. So there was nothing left. In 3 months, all the money that his parents had, his adoptive parents had accumulated, and that was like maybe $500,000, it was all gone. Right? And the last, insult was he named the horse after his mother, and the horse broke its leg and died. See? So this is because people who are addicted to bad habits, they're going to be losers in life. You have to have good qualities or sattvic qualities to have a peaceful and happy life. So that means no meat, no fish, no eggs, no intoxicants, no illicit sex, no gambling, and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I want to speak a little bit about Nrsingadev. He appeared, Lord Nrsingadev appeared in this very, very strange form, half lion, half man. Why? Because Hiranyakashipu had received benediction that no human being or no devata could kill him. Devatas are human beings, and no animals could kill him. So he appeared as half animal, half human. And there were many other conditions that he got as a benediction. And so when Lord Nrsingadev appeared, none of those restrictions that Hiranyakashipu had were violated. Now he was facing this amazing creature, this half man, half beast. And Nrsingadev killed him. He grabbed him and put him on his legs and tore open his stomach and pulled out his intestines, and he killed him. So he was not killed, and it happened at twilight, between day and night. And then he was killed while he was on the legs of Nrsingadev, so he was not killed in the sky or the ground. And he was not killed by any weapon. He was killed by the nails of Nrsingadev. So all the blessings that he got, or so-called blessings, were not violated. So it was impossible for him to imagine that there would be some type of creature like Nrsingadev. So you see, when you're a devotee and you're serious about following Krishna consciousness, no curse will touch you. Now, there are many people especially in India and some other countries, where you have black magic, and people go to someone who's an expert in black magic, they give them money, and then they give them the name of the person they want to be, they want to be suffering or dead or whatever, and they do their black magic, and the person gets sick, or he loses all the money he has, or whatever. However, if you're always chanting Hare Krishna, and especially taking shelter of Lord Nrsingadev, no curse can touch a devotee. Even the strongest demons, or the strongest, so-called cursors, it won't be able to influence the devotee, because the devotee is always protected by the Lord, and that's what Krishna guarantees. Konteya pratijanihi, name bhakta pranashati. Declared boldly, Arjuna, that my devotee will never perish. So your best insurance policy is to become a devotee. You can't buy a better insurance policy, because if Krishna protects you, then nothing can hurt you. Okay, so Prabhupada says, so these are the assurances, but the atheist class of men, like Hiranyakashipu, cannot understand this. That is the defect. They challenge always God. The dissension between Father and the Son was that the Son was a believer in God, in other words, Prahlad believed in God, Krishna, and the Father, Hiranyakashipu, was not. So at the end, the Father saw what is God in the form of death. At that time, he could not save him, meaning Prahlad couldn't save him. So that is the difference between a theist and an atheist. The atheist always challenges, where is God? Can you show me God? Well, you will see, not now, just at the maturation of all, just at the end of all your sinful activities, when death will come, you will see God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, you don't want to see God at the end of, you don't want to see, let's say, after having a life of sinful activity, you will see God in the form of Yamaraj, who is the superintendent of hell. Just imagine how surprised people are going to be who have engaged a full life of sin. But if you engage in Krishna consciousness, at the moment of death, you'll see Krishna. So for a devotee, the moment of death is the best moment. And for a non-devotee, the moment of death is the worst moment. So therefore, you should take up chanting Hare Krishna seriously. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the ultimate way to be saved from unnecessary suffering. We have suffering during this life, and we'll have suffering after we die because of sinful activity. But if we chant Hare Krishna, it will stop all sinful reactions from the past, stop all sinful actions in the present, and stop, and then guarantee you a very, very happy future. So if you really want to have a good life, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So are there any questions anyone would like to ask? Any questions? The whole Vedic knowledge is taught by questions and answers. See? If you never ask a question, then there's never an answer. Then you don't learn anything. But if there are questions, then there's some discussion, and you learn something, and you remember something. Like from the lecture I gave today, you probably won't remember any of it. you go outside and someone will say, well, how was the lecture? Oh, it was wonderful. So what did he say? Oh, he said all good things. Tell me one of the good things. Well, I can't remember them all right now, but they were all good. See? So if you want to remember something, you ask a question and you get an answer, and there's a good chance that you'll be able to remember that because you were, let's say, interested in hearing the answer. So are there any questions? Okay, young boy, what is your question? We have a question here. You have the microphone? Is there a microphone? Yes, okay, there you go. Yes.
Krishna Maharaj, so I was doubted on when Hiranyakashipu was killed by the Lord was like very, very angry, right?
Yes.
So did he go back to Godhead, Hiranyakashipu? Because like the Lord, when he killed Hiranyakashipu, he was very, very angry, right?
This is a very good question. Yes, he killed Hiranyakashipu, right? Tore his gut, pulled out his intestines, and put the intestines around his neck like a garland. So he was really dead, right? Then, and he was angry. He was roaring like a lion, and the whole world was trembling, So the devotees were trying to figure out how to calm him down. They were frightened like anything. So there was a garland, and they were wondering who would put the garland on Hiranyakashipu's, neck to calm him down. And yeah, I'm sorry, Nrsingadev's neck. And they finally asked Prahlad to do it because everybody else was afraid. They were so frightened. And when Prahlad put the garland on Nrsingadev's neck, then he became calm. And he asked Prahlad, he said, my dear boy, I want to give you a benediction. And Prahlad said, no, please don't say that. Don't tempt me. I don't really want anything. And Nrsingadev said, well, you should take something. So Prahlad said, okay, if you want to give me a benediction, please bring my father back from death and purify him so he becomes a devotee. That's a real devotee. Real devotee does not have this rancor and jealousy and anger and meanness and so forth. The devotee is always merciful, even to people who are not merciful to him. Just like Jesus Christ. On the cross, right before he died, he said, my dear Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. You see? So he did not get angry, even though he was crucified. And crucifixion was horrible. They nailed his, they put nails in his hands again on the cross, and they nailed his feet. A nail, we're talking about big nails, they're going right through the hand and holding him like this. And he was like that all day long. And then finally, they put a spear into a wound that he had on his side to make sure he was dead. And then they took him, his disciples took Jesus to a cave and put him in the cave and closed the entrance to the cave with a big rock. And after a couple days, Jesus came out from the cave and scared the heck out of everyone, because they knew he had died, But he comes out and he stays around for 40 days, walking around and preaching, and especially, encouraging his devotees. And people were freaked out like anything, right? But the Lord was very merciful. He did not come out to, you have to control the kids, please. Parents have to control the kids. If you don't control the kids, you're not a good parent. All the kids have to be controlled, please. The parents should sit with the kid. That's it. Good. Haribo. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Yeah. Now you see, if you don't hold your kid in the temple room, they're going to run around, they're going to make noise. That's what they like to do. And other people, if you let your kids run around and make noise like that, other people that come to the temple, they see this and they say, oh my God, I'm not bringing my child to this temple, because the other people are just letting the kids run wild, and my kid will be like that too, so I'm not going to bring my kid to the temple. Okay? So if you really want to help the temple, control your kids. And if you really want your kids to grow up to be really, let's say, Krishna conscious, then you should always sit with your child, whether it's in the Sunday school or whether it's in the temple room during a lecture, and teach the child to listen. What do you learn by a lecture? Well, the main thing you learn by listening to a lecture is you learn to listen. Now, a lot of people, they're sort of thinking, well, I'm a little tired, and he keeps talking, and can't wait till it's over, and they're fidgeting, and they're not really focused on the lecture. But if you can focus on a lecture and learn at least one thing, you will make a lot of spiritual advancement. Like, for example, one time there was a man who he had heard that angels' feet never touch the ground. So he learned that, and then he got into trouble, and he was put in jail. And eventually, one night while he was in jail, this woman-like apparition appeared. Now, he was a criminal, and the police, they decided, they were beating him all the time, but he never admitted that he was a criminal. He never admitted that he stole anything. So the police said, oh, look, all these dacoits, they all believe in Mata. They all believe in Durga. So why don't we dress up someone like Durga, and in the middle of the night, let her go, and she can ask him, my dear son, please tell the truth. Did you steal? Were you a thief? Because they kept beating him, and he kept saying, I didn't do anything. I've never stolen anything in my life. Blah blah blah. So after some time, they dressed this lady up like Durga Mata. And in the middle of the night, she goes to the jail, and he hears some kind of strange noise, and he opens his eyes, and he sees Durga Mata, and he's shocked. And he said, oh, Mata, you have come to save me. And she said, yes, my child, yes, but please tell me first, did you steal that money? So he had his head down like this, and he was watching, and his head was, looking at her feet, and he saw that her feet were touching the ground. And then he said, yeah, no, Mata, no, I'm not a thief. I've never stolen anything. I never lied in my life. And she said, oh, my dear boy, you can tell me the truth. Did you steal? He said, no. So eventually he got out, because the police were beating him, and he kept saying, "I'm innocent," and they didn't have any real witnesses. So he got out and he went and joined his group again of thieves. And they were so happy to see him, and they said, "Oh, you got out. You're one of us again. You're our leader." And he said, "Well, no, I'm not going to steal anymore." I said, "What? You're not going to steal anymore? But you're so good at it." And he said, "Yeah, but I'm not going to do it." They said, "Well, why is that?" He said, "Well, even if I explain it to you, you won't be able to understand. But thank you very much." And he left. All right. So, what did he do? And why did he do that? Well, by learning only one thing, and that was he heard that Deva's feet never touched the floor. So when the police dressed up this lady as a Deva, or as Mata, he saw that her feet were touching the ground, right? So it saved his life when he, understood that this was a trick. So after that, when he got out of jail, because, they couldn't prosecute him, there was no witnesses to any crimes that he committed, he went and saw his, thieving friends. They said, "Okay, you're our boss, now we're going to start again." He said, "No, I quit. I'm not going to do this again." And they were surprised. He said, "That's all right. I'm leaving." So he left. Now, why did he leave? Well, he left because by hearing one thing accidentally, that Devata's feet never touched the ground, it saved his life. And then he thought, what if I heard all the time things from the devotees? I just heard one thing and it saved my life. How much more benefit could I have if I would hear regularly from the devotees? So this is a simple history, but we should take it seriously. You should come regularly to the temple and hear good things of how Krishna's mercy is given to all people. Now, you can be the worst person. You can be, as it says, Adama, and become the worst person, and you can become the best person, Uttama, simply by hearing lectures given by devotees, genuine devotees, taking prasadam, engaging in chanting and dancing. Dancing is very important during the kirtan. So if you can, associate with devotees, you will become a devotee also. And if you associate with bad people, well, you'll become a bad person. I had an auntie. Her name was Violet, or Manushag in Armenian, but Violet. And she had she had a problem with her back and everything, so she was always like crooked, So one time I was joking with her a little bit, and I said, "Oh, Auntie," I said, you can't make good what do you call dolma, or good preparations if you have a bent back, right? If you're bent over." And she said, "No. What are you saying? I can do it." So she was like adamant that she could do good, making good dolmas, even though her body was all twisted, right? So that type of instead of having a twisted body, you can have a twisted soul. You can have twisted consciousness. So we have to be very careful what we hear, and what we eat, and what we do, and the company that we keep. Otherwise, your soul can become twisted. Your body can become twisted. Your thinking can become twisted by bad association. So therefore, a person who has bad association, they also become bad. It's like charcoal. If you hold a piece of charcoal, either it'll burn your hand or it'll make your hand black. So when you associate with bad people, you're going to be a loser. You cannot get away without having some, let's say, bad influence. So therefore, come regularly to the temple, always chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and be happy. So are there any questions anyone would like to ask? Any questions? There's got to be one question. Yes. You see, he's not afraid to ask a question. Most people are afraid to ask a question.
So at home, my grandparents came over.
That's not on. That's not on. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Speak to.
So at home, my grandparents came over, and they said they believe that Shiva was like the personality of God. And I tried to explain that he wasn't, and that he was top one devotee of Krishna. But they said there's the Brahmajyoti, or this effulgence that everything got emanated from. And I said, what started that?
What started the Brahmajyoti?
Yeah. And then I said Krishna, and then they said, if something started the Brahmajyoti, what started Krishna? And I got stuck.
What? What did they say?
So
that?
they said, if something started the Brahmajyoti, then what started Krishna? But they think.
Well, let's put it like this. Everything that comes from Krishna is eternal. So Brahmajyoti is eternal. No beginning, no end, because it's the effulgence coming from the body of Krishna. And Krishna, his transcendental body, never gets old, and it's the source of the Brahmajyoti. So they don't understand that. So now you have the answer. That Krishna's transcendental body is the source of the Brahmajyoti. So as Krishna has no beginning and no end, the Brahmajyoti has no beginning and no end. Okay? Haribol. Next time you tell them that. When's the next time you're going to see them? Oh, is he here now? Yeah. Raise your hand if he's your grandson. Okay. No. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, so then we will have Kirtan. Oh, okay, go ahead, Prabhu. Yes.
So, oftentimes, like, when I discuss, with the colleagues and all.
What?
With my colleagues.
Your
at
colleagues,
work,
okay.
Colleagues at work.
All the demons, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, supposedly. There's always this confusion between morality and religion. They say, morality is completely religion agnostic. But if you see religion talks about what is the correct thing to do, what is not the correct thing to do, and which is also morality. Right? So.
Well, no, what they say is I can be moral without religion.
Without being religious, yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, right? But then we say, but how do we address that dichotomy? Because even in religion, our dharma, it also says what's the correct thing to do, what's not the correct thing to do, which is kind of morality as well, right?
No, of course. Now, let me explain. Morality, most people, not all, but most people follow certain moral rules, right? And they say you don't have to be religious to be moral. However, their morality, their so-called morality, has a lot of faults in it. And say, what are those faults? Maybe they don't lie or cheat, right? But they might be smokers. They might have sex. They might like to drink wine and whiskey. They, who knows, they might cheat on their IRS returns. You see? So you're going to see that although they're trying to be moral, but their morality is not absolute. It's not completely, let's say, pukka. Yeah, whatever, I mean, obviously they're going to be working for their own sense gratification. So somewhere or other, they're going to be making mistakes. And therefore, now, everybody can make mistakes, right? But when you're a devotee and you make a mistake and you're a sincere devotee, Krishna will help you to rehabilitate very quickly. See, when Krishna is dealing with a person who's like a demon, he doesn't really rehabilitate them right away. And because of that, they suffer a lot. But when a devotee makes a mistake, he will go out of his way to rehabilitate the devotee very quickly. So you have a real interest in becoming a devotee, even though you might make mistakes, but you'll be rehabilitated by Krishna himself very quickly. Whereas the materialists who make mistakes, they can go on life after life making those mistakes and suffering unnecessarily until they come in contact with a genuine devotee who convinces them to take up chanting Hare Krishna, eating prasadam, and giving up all those nasty things that they're doing, you see. So it's very good to be a devotee, even if you make mistakes, because the Lord will rehabilitate you very quickly. So you stay on the right path. Hare Krishna. You can never be a loser in Krishna consciousness, let's put it like that. Okay. Any other questions anyone wants to? Yes, go ahead. And speak very slowly, very slowly. Hare Krishna.
You mentioned that devotees never do the anger resembles. So we generally, means I always sometimes if I think maybe, so there's an anger appears. So how we control, and if I do the anger mode and that time, so am I not a devotee or our punya is got lost? How to control in our anger?
Okay, translation. Your question is how to control anger, is that it?
Yeah, how to control anger, and if I shows my anger sometimes, so
Yeah.
am I not a devotee?
Yes, you're not a good devotee, let's put it like that. You are a devotee, but you're not a good devotee because you're not using your anger correctly. There's nothing wrong with getting angry, but it has to be for the right reason, right? So if you get angry at your child because, he dropped some dish or something like that, that's wrong. But if you get angry at someone who insults Krishna, that's right. So most of the time, people get angry for the wrong reason. You have to be very tolerant, especially when you're raising kids, not to get angry because you can scare them. And in the life of a kid, if you say, oh, now you are, you go to your room, you shut the door, and you just stay there. Now, in the mind of the child, they think, oh my God, I'm going to stay in this room for the rest of my life, and they can get psychologically hurt by the anger of the parent. So it's very good. I mean, I remember a long time ago, I did something wrong, my father got so angry and he smacked me really hard several times, and I was shocked, I was just a little kid, right? I never forgot that. So, you don't want to get over angry or too angry with your kids. Like 1 minute you're going to kill them, next minute you're hugging them and kissing them. Oh, I didn't mean that. You don't want to do that. You want to be very careful about anger because anger is destructive. Now, there's qualified moments when you can be angry if someone insults Krishna or someone tries to, someone wants to run on the altar and break the deity or something like that, then you can get really angry. But with your children or your husband, you should not get angry. Yeah.
Not a husband, not a children. Just we are going in road. Some strangers doing some wrong things.
Who's doing the wrong thing?
Some strangers. We are going.
Oh,
in
strangers
road.
doing
Some
something.
strangers is doing wrong things,
Yeah.
and we thought why is doing so. Anger generated, and we just really another thing.
Well,
to
if
stop.
some stranger is doing something wrong, you don't want to be the person to correct them. You just walk away from them because you don't know who they are. They could be a very dangerous person, right? So you just walk away from them, and forget about it. Like, for example, you ever hear of road rage? That's like you're driving and then someone cuts in front of you and you get really angry and you start following them, And then eventually, you try and make them stop, and you get out of your car and they get out of their car, but you didn't realize that other person has a gun and you don't, right? Then you realize you made a big mistake. So you don't want to get into situations like that,
How we go away because we are human beings, so our nature, our judgmental nature.
No, wait a minute.
our action
You're not only a human being, you're a devotee human being. So that's a higher level than just being a human being. If you're a devotee human being, then you have to learn to control yourself, not get angry. If someone insults Krishna, you can get angry. But if someone insults you or someone does something that makes you really upset, you do not want to retaliate. You don't want to get angry because anger is destructive. You have to remember that. It's destructive.
Krishna, in every pieces, Krishna is there, na?
What?
In every pieces, in Krishna is there.
Yes, Krishna is everywhere.
So in every.
So if he sees you getting angry, he's not going to be happy about it. See? So rather than getting angry, you should chant more Hare Krishna. And that way Krishna will protect you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's the way to control your anger. When someone gets you angry, you just sit down very comfortably, start chanting Hare Krishna till that anger goes away. But if you want to get angry and argue with someone, that's a big mistake. Especially if you're arguing with your husband. Don't argue. It's very bad. Okay? Haribol. All right, so any other questions? If not, then we will carry on to the next. What are you going to do now? Okay. So we're going to have some announcements and then cutting the cake for Lord Nrsingadev's birthday. Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
I said the right thing, Cut the cake.
So we have a couple of sponsors today. The dress which you are seeing today, the new dress, is actually sponsored by Pandavijay Prabhu and family. It's their 25th marriage anniversary and also Diksha's 20th birthday. So they sponsored the dress. And we also have a sponsor from Brahma Moholkar, basically on parents' wedding anniversary, Dhananjay Moholkar and Savita Moholkar's wedding anniversary. And Gauranga Chandra Prabhu is sponsoring because Pranjul is now got into college. She'll be soon starting college in, I think, September. So he's sponsoring for Pranjul's successful college journey. And our family is also sponsoring the feast today. Hare Krishna. Now we have the cake. There are 6-7 cakes here, wonderfully done. So they'll be brought down here, and we will sing Narasimha's glorification, and we'll cut the cake. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And then let's also give a big round of applause and let's wish him for the 29th wedding anniversary. Where is Mataji?
Haribo, Haribo, Haribo.
Mataji, please.
The table is coming.
Yeah, if you're married 29 years, you learn not to get angry. Haribo. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai. May you always be blessed and free from anger and live together eternally. See, in the spiritual world, there are eternal couples that are liberated together because they have a full Krishna conscious life. So I pray that you become an eternal couple in the spiritual world and always be happy. Haribol, Haribol. Go ahead, start. Yeah.
Start any kirtan.
Any kirtan?
Then you can one side. Avik, have the mudra at the back.
उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् नमस्ते नरसिंहाय नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
प्रह्लादलाददायिने
प्रह्लादलाददायिने
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
प्रह्लादलाददायिने
प्रह्लादलाददायिने
हिरण्याकाशिपूर्वकः
कन्याकाशीपूर्वकः
शिलदञ्जानकालाये इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बाहे नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंह नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये बाहे नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलवरे नाथाम् अद्भुत शृङ्गा ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवद्रेदा नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे अवकर कमलवरे नाकाम् अद्भुत शृङ्गार ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवदेना नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवद्रीता नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
प्रहलाद महाराज की जय जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की
Hare Krishna. Sandeep Prabhu, can you display the cake, the photos? Wireless mic. Hare Krishna, please come forward. Jai Narasimha Deva. Right? Hare Krishna. So now we will cut the cake. And there is this beautiful verse about Narasimha Deva here. Dhameshwari Radhika Mataji. She actually made this cake. Wonderful. Hare Krishna. And there are actually 6-7 cakes. We could not fit them here, so only we kept 2. All the devotees who made the cake for Lord Narasimha's pleasure. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So now, Maharaj, please cut the cake. Jai Narasimha Deva. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Bola Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Jai Narasimha Bhavani ki Jai.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari
Nitai
Bol.
Gaura Premanandi ki.
Hari Bol.
So thank you very much for coming tonight. Lord Nrsingadev's appearance. And it's your anniversary, right? 29